Okay, I'm gonna make a bit of a spontaneous video here. Now, I've been watching the Need for Speed Heat side of YouTube for quite a while, and I always see content creators and just video gamers always complaining about how Need for Speed Heat drifting isn't realistic, it's too snappy, you feel like you're on rails. I'm gonna put an end to all of those statements right now. Basically, if you go into the settings of your car, your setup, and you choose all showcase or all drift parts, it's gonna feel like absolute. There's no other way to put it. I don't have any parts to showcase that, so I'll cut to it later. But if you use drag tires or any form of race tires, anything grippy, even purple drag tires are fine. It will make an instant difference. It is night and day. I'll put it up on screen. Look. Okay, so now we're running our drift setup or showcase setup. So I've got showcase suspension, drift tires, showcase differential, and for some reason I decided to go with elite brakes. Well, just imagine you're all excited, you earned all your elite, ultimate, whatever parts, and you're like, oh, I want to put on the best brakes because it's going to make my setup the absolute best. Now, if we go and try to drift with this, it's going to feel snappy and it's going to oversteer more than it should, and you're going to look like you're fiddling around with it more than you have to, because you are. It's this too low grip, it becomes hard to control, and you feel like it's on rails because there's nothing you can do to stop it. It will just go in the direction that you turn. Same as if I'm turning around this corner here, and then I accidentally flick the handbrake on my turn, it'll flick me the other direction. It's impossible to drift and make it look good while using this setup. So all you gotta do to fix it is, even with just these parts, you go to performance, you go to your tires, and you just choose some drag tires, man. It'll make a huge difference. There, all I did was put some drag tires on. You can instantly see it's so much smoother. It's infinitely better. You can take longer turns without having to worry about as much oversteer. Another thing I'd like to address. Yes, I do use an automatic transmission most of the time, but when I do like to take things a bit more serious, I change the manual. Because with a transmission, you have different gears, different ratios. Now, you can't change these in Need for Speed Heat, but what you can do is you can change when you change gears. So if you have a corner that's really, really long, obviously you're going to want to take that in a bit of a higher gear with a bit more speed. But if you have a corner that's about as tight as your obviously you're going to need a bit of a shorter gear. But sometimes, because you're flat-footing it, Need for Speed, it's game designers just going to want to say, nah, you got to be in gear 3 or you got to be in gear 4. It'll just do that sometimes. So if you want it to be more consistent, you do need to change it to a manual, because then you have full control over what the car does and how it handles at all given time. Before I finish up this video, I'd just like to say, if you do like this kind of short and sweet style of content where I'm just straight to the point about a topic of your choice, then just hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.